Dobra, moi drodzy, w takim razie kontynuujmy. O, przy okazji tabulatorem możemy podświetlać. Okej, obiekty interaktywne. Tak, i można na nie klikać lewym przyciskiem myszy. Tutaj są oficerowie załogi.
Keep your wits about you.
Okej, widzę więcej randomowych NPC. Okej. Serwitor, on mi na pewno nic nie powie.
Is there money to be made?
One of the Fon Valencia's trophy rooms. Perhaps you would like to take a look around after your audience with the Lord Captain.
What's happening?
Serwitor się przekwał.
Run! The servitors have gone berserk!
Stęgi ci je przekwały.
Your demise is already calculated.
Czyli on walczy wręcz generalnie. A, dobra, czyli walka w turach, to mi się podoba. Ruszać się, atakować i używać zdolności.
I don't need luck. I have strategy.
Okej. Miss. Spadnie się kończy. Miss. Miss. Hej, trafienie. Mys.
I'll see to it personally.
Unik, pięknie.
To the heretics!
What suspiciously poor timing for such an accident. Servitors malfunction on the officer's deck at exactly the same moment when the rogue trader and
Yep.
her heirs
Dziwne,
are gathered
prawda?
here. I have blocked all passages between the upper and lower sectors of the residential decks. If this is a deliberate attack, it should stop the culprits from advancing their plan. I'm afraid I must remain here. For Lady Theodora's safety, I have to oversee the execution of these orders personally. I hope you will have no difficulty reaching the observation platform on your own. It is just at the end of this corridor.
Okej.
Always keep your eye on the prize.
Dobra, czyli tu jest zamknięte.
I always keep my options open.
Dobra, to zwykli słudzy. Przyjrzyjmy się temu. Tutaj kolejny serwitor, co może ten nawalić. Wszystko w porządku pod mocią, panie? Okej, w porządeczku. Widzę, że tu akurat jest spokój. Ciekaw jestem, jak długo.
That is simply irrational, Lady Theodora. Assimilation into the trade structure would be political and economic suicide. Practically an admission of heresy.
Then suggest an alternative that will satisfy me. I have described the situation. No worse than my seneschal could have done. Make a decision. What will you do with Ion 6, Edelthrad?
Obadaj pokój. Okej.
Our second candidate has joined us. Approach and give me your answer. Consider this hypothetical situation. Ion 6. A new world on the fringes of the Coronis expanse. High seismic activity, regular magma eruptions, metamorphic rock deposits, prospects for large-scale mining. The world is populated by natives who worship some heretical underworld spirits that protect those who offer them sacrifices. Flights of fancy, you might say, but attempts to install ore extractors have failed for the second time. The mining crews sent to the planet's surface simply vanished overnight. My question to you is, what would you do with this poisoned treasure?
Okej, mamy 2 testy wiedzy udane. Użyjmy psioników do przetestowania, czy to naprawdę kult demonów, czy nie, czy herezja, czy nie.
Thorough, but presumptuous. It took me a great deal to find one psyker who could serve me well for many years. Yet you speak of several.
Sanctioned psychers are rare and valuable instruments of the Golden Throne. Or do you suggest that we use heretics, who are an offense to the God Emperor's light? It would be rather careless of you to utter such profanity in the presence of his faithful servants.
Dobra, jesteśmy oboje sługami Boga Imperatora.
Even among his flock, not all are of a piece. I suggest you familiarize yourself with that fact before you are sorely...
Edelthrad, I believe I gave you an assignment on this ship. Explain to me then why my senior congregator is still dawdling about the officer's deck, instead of proceeding to the middle decks to commence the inspection of the compartments in his purview.
Okej.
I beg your forgiveness, Lady Theodora. Your presence has such a profound effect on me that I well forgot the time.
W porządku.
So, why are you here?
Są pytania, na które pożądam odpowiedzi.
You are direct. I approve. But you will have to wait. There is something I want you to understand first.
W porządku.
My name is Theodora von Valancius Massimo of Scaris. I am a rogue trader in the service of the God Emperor of humanity. And my rights and freedoms are vindicated by a most sacred relic. The warrant of trade, kept aboard this very vessel. Mine is the honor to venture into the darkness, beyond the Imperium, and carry humanity's light where powers wicked and heretical reign, and bow death and ruin to us all.
Okej.
It is my decision alone to determine the fate of whatever I find past the bounds of the explored void. Every world I discover, along with all there is to find thereon, resources, people, riches, and mysteries, is mine by right. I command millions of lives, rule over numerous planets, and possess fortunes that no planetary governor or commander could dream of amassing. And you, are one of those with von Valancius blood in their veins and a rightful claim to this inheritance when the hour comes.
Okej, w takim razie jestem gotów.
Oh, yes. You would be, wouldn't you? The question is, am I ready to choose you over the rest? You came aboard hours before the warp jump, and have not yet distinguished yourself in any way. As things currently stand, I have doubts that you are suitable for the role of rogue trader.
Okej.
Bloodright alone is not enough to earn the high honor of becoming the bearer of a warrant of trade. Nonetheless, your abilities and talents may yet prove useful. If not for the role of Lord Captain, then for that of their closest ally. Alas, even those responsibilities can at times be too challenging for those who share your blood. Kunrad Voitvir served me for many years before he made his mistake.
Są inni?
Naturally. Some have yet to arrive on board, but you have had the pleasure of meeting one of them. Edelthrad may be somewhat disconcerted by the scale of the responsibilities that may potentially fall upon his shoulders. However, I have a good feeling about him as a candidate.
Okej, czy jest z tobą związany?
His kinship to me is most distant, as is yours. Nonetheless, he does bear the name von Valancius, even if he avoids using it publicly and, as such, strictly speaking, can be considered my heir. That door, however, is closed to him. Voitvir's performance in his current role is satisfactory. Or it used to be, at least.
Okej.
Impatience. I am rather fond of impatient people. They are not as quick to resign themselves to circumstance and more eager to show initiative. Even if I do choose Edelthrad as my successor, I will still require loyal advisors. The skills and knowledge you acquired in your former life may prove invaluable here, in the Coronis Expanse.
Okej, w porządku.
One could not in good faith describe your background as one of exemplary service to the Imperium.
Aczkolwiek
However,
jestem
I am
zaintrygowany twoją
intrigued by
przeszłością.
you in your past. To have survived and prospered between the letters of the law is a rare achievement among those in our circle. You are skilled in the art of taking risks and cutting corners. Trust me when I say that you will have sufficient opportunity to apply this talent for the good of the house.
Okej.
Moreover, your courage has made you far more famous than you yourself probably realize. True feats of heroism will forever live on in the annals of the Imperium and bring honor to the von Valancius line.
Mogę teraz pytania?
I have some time before the navigator gives the signal to initiate the void ship's translation out of the warp, and my presence is required on the bridge.
Serwitorzy oszaleli.
Is that so? Perhaps the technomats were careless during maintenance. Or it could be the warp playing tricks on us in spite of the Gellerfield. Or perhaps there is something to all the stories about the ship being possessed after all.
Lady Theodora, for the God Emperor's sake, surely you do not intend to start repeating idle rumors spread about by uneducated riffraff.
Enough, Abelard. Such hearsay amuses me. Idira eagerly retells me everything she learns from the whispers of her unseen advisors. This ship is ancient. It has enough hidden nooks, malfunctioning cogitators, and unused compartments to make ignorant folks speak of specters dwelling inside the bulkheads and plotting against those who yet live.
To jest pytanie głupie, bo by obnażyło naszą niewiedzę. Jak możemy nie wiedzieć, co to jest nawigator i translacja przez osnowę?
The Rycad system, the domain of rogue trader Winterscale, one of my peers and rivals. Besides me, 2 other rogue traders exist in the Coronis Expanse, and each of them possesses resources comparable to mine. Perhaps you will one day assist House von Valancius in surpassing both of them in affluence and splendor.
Okej.
I set the course for Rycad on the demand that... for a very specific reason. Perhaps I shall yet apprise you of the purpose for this voyage, but now is not the time.
Jakie są moje obecne obowiązki?
Observe, learn, absorb.
Uczyć
It
się
will
i
take time for you
obserwować.
to find your bearings aboard this vessel and in your new position. Eventually, I will find a post that suits you as I did for Edelthrad. Until that time comes, consider yourself my aide.
Okej.
You can start by not asking questions of this sort. I have no need for sycophants. I will draw my conclusions when an opportunity to prove yourself arises. As for when you will be granted that opportunity, only the God Emperor knows.
Okej, w porządku.
In that case, I shall head to... Disturbances reported on the adjacent decks. Seneschal, if the need arises, protect the new blood. It is possible that the chance to prove your worth may present itself sooner than you may have anticipated.
Okej, czyli serwitorzy oszaleli.
I'll make an example out of you!
The Masters demand your death!
Tried and tested tactics are the best ones.
Strengthens me.
Just a minor
Ruinous powers out of my way.
Okej. Możemy używać osłony.
Your end was inevitable.
Boom.
I'll see to it personally. I won't compromise my principles. It's as good as done.
Chaos guides me. Death to unbelievers.
Gonna hurt!
One fewer target.
Break their trap.
O! Pozytywny efekt od sojusznika.
I'll make it happen.
Zostałeś przeanalizowany
Who?
i zajebany. Bum.
Mort, take a team with you and clear a path to the transport line. Do not let a single whoreson survive. Didn't bat an eye when that scum burst onto the deck, huh? Not bad. I have seen many an officer who panicked at the sight of combat on the upper decks. The false sense of security offered by their position makes them that much more vulnerable to the harsh realities of warp travel.
Rozkazy?
Mort has gone on ahead to clear a path for us. If you want to make yourself useful, go after him and see if the arch-militant requires aid. And be quick about it.
Okej. Do windy?
Rise to the top, or get left in the dust.
Czy nie do windy?
Thank Providence you are alive and well.
Always on time, eh, Coonrad? The moment we finish chasing the riffraff around the deck, you show up. Always just after the fighting's done. You could set your chrono by it.
Mort, pull yourself together.
What, did the
Ale
little
sobie
captain send you
dogryzają.
to chivvy us along? We're all done here. I'll report right away.
Master of Whispers, what is happening on my ship? The Voxnet is silent. The Voxmaster is not responding. Armed assailants have stormed the officer's deck, and my arch-militant just destroyed several more heretics on the way here. Is this a severe case of warp madness? Have some of my crew lost their minds and forgotten who they are and whom they serve? Report!
I have not yet received word from the Engineerium regarding any Geller field failures, but communications were already unstable half an hour ago, and now they have ceased altogether. Whatever the cause may be, the consequences are spreading fast. I am receiving scattered reports from the middle decks, and the only voxcasts from the lower bays are one-way heretical gibberish. That the madmen have already reached the officer's deck suggests that this outrage was planned in advance. Perhaps this is an organized mutiny.
Okej. Trójeczka, moim zdaniem. Musimy zapewnić wsparcie tym, którzy jeszcze walczą.
First, we have to confirm that the bridge and the navigator's sanctum are secure. And I have the means to do both things at once.
Edelthrad, where is he? I must know if he is unharmed.
A psyker aboard a ship that is potentially being assailed by the warp could pose a greater threat to himself and others than a whole army of madmen with improvised weapons.
Okej.
I tried to locate him, but the last thing known about his movements is that he arrived on Transitional Deck 18.
Blast it! Master of Whispers, find Edelthrad immediately. Seneschal, locate Tlas and the Sister of Battle. Both are to remain at my side. Arch-militant, with me. I must go to my study. And it appears we might encounter heretics along the way.
If I may, Lord Captain. Transitional Deck 18 is at the heart of the disturbance, and if our goal is to bring Edelthrad back, I could use some support. After all, I'm not as adept at directly confronting enemies of the House as the esteemed Arch-Militant, and taking into consideration Edelthrad's psychic powers.
Dokładnie.
Then it's settled. Find Edelthrad and bring him here. In whatever state you find him. This elevator leads to restricted compartments such as my personal chambers and the bridge. Do not let me down. I require you both. Do you understand?
Hero in the way.
Move out! Mort, come.
Dobra.
Are you ready to head to 18? It is a long walk, and you do not even have proper gear.
No cóż, muszę.
Of course you will. Lady Theodora would never have someone she couldn't rely on as one of her heirs. But that is no longer relevant.
Okej. O! Heretics! A to ci heretyk. Czyli to ty to zorganizowałeś, kolego. Auć.
Careful, careful. Be gentle with our guest. He has an important mission to complete during our visit to the Warrant Chamber. And for that, I need him breathing. Oh, you are back with us, I see. Delightful.
Co to ma znaczyć?
You must have hit your head harder than I thought. No matter. Very little is required of you. Just your blood, which you can either share of your own volition, or I will spill it for you. We are in the anteroom of the Warrant Chamber, this void ship's most hallowed vault. There, beyond those gates, lies the relic that gives Theodora all of her power. The sacred Warrant of Trade. Only one obstacle remains on my path to obtaining it. The gates to the chamber are guarded by the Sentinel, an ancient device that will only open the door to a true heir of the dynasty. I expected to do this part myself, but never mind. You will offer your blood to the Sentinel.
Dlaczego to robisz?
Why? Because I am following an order. What is happening on this ship right now has been in the making for a very long time. All that remains is to obtain what my master sent me for. The Warrant of Trade.
Twoja
On
krew
the
jest za cienka.
contrary, the Warp's blessing has raised me too much above your kind, Fon Valencius. The Sentinel refused to submit to me. But you can help. After all, isn't that what family is for?
W dupę mnie pocałuj.
I am afraid that you have no choice in the matter. Try to resist, and I will demonstrate the power that the warp holds over mortals. Come to think of it, I might even take some pleasure in doing so.
Spierdalaj do osnowy. Zwalczmy. O, 100%. Cogitator.
Did you forget something? I suggest you hurry.
Okej.
High levels of caustic humors. The subject is in a state of heightened stress. Do you require assistance?
Yes. Wymagam pomocy.
Request accepted. Initiating defense protocol.
Protokoły obronne. tutaj mi się generalnie.
I always have a backup plan.
Escort the child of the house to safety.
Potrzebuję broni.
Distance from the current location to the nearest arsenal. Initiating situational calculations.
Co tu się dzieje?
Temporary obnubilation following acute stress. Mobile unit of the Warrant Sentinel standing by.
Czy ty jesteś?
Mobile unit of the Warrant Sentinel designed as a personal escort of the child of the house and a means of communicating with the rogue trader's subjects. Mobile unit standing by. Voxcast frequencies disrupted. Initiating setup. Establishing connection.
Voxmaster, restore communication with the navigator's sanctum. I am trying to contact the bridge.
Communication protocols breached. Signal latency assessment unavailable. Unable to establish two-way connection.
Okej, wyprowadź
Middle
mnie
and
stąd.
upper decks. Assuming the probability of safe placement in areas of concentration of armed units. Calculating. To prevent unauthorized units from breaching the warrant chamber, preemptive sealing must be initiated. The mobile unit will start executing the received order immediately after the safety of the warrant is secured.
Okej.
Keep your wits about you.
Panowie
Run,
kultyści.
fools, or fall!
O! No, przynajmniej ktoś...
Master, whatever are you doing in the warrant chamber? How did you... Throne preserve me, what is the meaning of this?
Jest zdrajcą. Przyprowadził mnie tutaj.
What?
No cóż, słowy wydawcom z osnowy.
Serving the gods of the war? Kunrad is a heretic. Oh, Voidfear, you void rat. Madness. And this mutiny is likewise his doing, no doubt. Saint's blood! And it is small wonder that the heretics are so well organized. I thought his order to seal the passages between decks was his attempt to stop the attackers from spreading to other levels. But now I see the real reason. It was to stop the enforcers from intervening. At least you are alive, and now safe, Master. Alas, I doubt we can afford to look for a compartment to sit out this disaster.
Okej.
You're in a bad way. I can treat your wounds. I have a Medicaid kit with me. And, for the love of the throne, now is not a good time to be walking around the decks without means of self-defense. Here.
Okej. Dobra.
Look no further. Let's patch you up. That is a noticeable improvement. Now you're prepared for the trials ahead.
Okay.
The lower decks are teeming with heretics instigating the rabble to revolt. But that is the least of our problems. The ship's enforcers are rounding up the scoundrels and suppressing the resistance. The situation on the middle decks is much worse, although strike teams have already been dispatched there. All communication with the bridge and the engineering bay was lost. So, apart from scattered voxcasts, we have no information to go on. But that is not the worst of it all. All these jolts and shaking are most alarming. These are signs that the navigator and the master helmsman are having difficulty translating the ship out of the warp and into real space. I fear that they may have already lost control. We must reach the navigator's sanctum and get a handle on the situation. If we can manage that, some aboard this vessel may yet survive.
I co cię zrąbało z translacją z osnowy?
I am no helmsman. Oh, God Emperor preserve me, navigator. However, I've spent my entire life aboard void ships equipped with warp drives, and I know that portents such as these do not bode well. It could be that the Geller field has faltered. Perhaps the navigator was struck down by warp corruption and is fighting for the last shreds of his humanity as we speak. If we get thrown off course, we will be forever lost in the warp. Naturally, we would likely not have long to live in that scenario. But I will not resign myself to such an outcome just yet.
Jak mnie znalazłeś?
You sent me a Vox message. Specifically, a Voxcast on the officer's frequency, which I had the good fortune to receive. You mean to say you did no such thing?
Warren Sentinel mógł to wysłać.
Warren Sentinel? The Lord Captain barely ever ventures down to the chamber, and I was at her side only once or twice when she did. And I did not see anything of the sort. The Warren Chamber is an ancient and rather sacred mechanism that the ship's tech priests treat with the utmost reverence. I assume that whatever it is that you did, you must have activated certain processes and caused the Sentinel to awaken. But then, why did none of it happen when Lady Theodora did the same?
Czego możemy... Słyszałem jedną z jej transmisji boxowych.
Which one? The last one I received was about the Navigator's Sanctum, and that was a good while ago. In any case, let us hope that the Lord Captain is well, and safely in charge of the ship's defense. In the meantime, we must do all we can to prevent the ship from veering off course.
Czego możemy oczekiwać?
During warp transit, the Sanctum is closed to all who are not involved in traversing the Empyrean, and for good reason. For the Navigator to open their third eye and perceive the way, the Sanctum must be bathed in the energies of the Immaterium. Only a Navigator can withstand such an ordeal. For the rest of us, any contact with the warp is fraught with perils such as loss of sanity, spontaneous mutations, and death.
Yeah! Utratę rozumu, mutację i śmierć. Okej.
To arms, loyal sons and daughters of the God Emperor! Fight the heresy and corruption that...
Okej.
The Lord Captain is calling her crew to battle, which means the Vox networks are set up for broadcast transmission, not message exchange. Splendid. While the rogue trader inspires proper resolve to fight in her subjects, you and I shall prove that her trust in us is well deserved. Onward!
Okej, dobra.
Surrender to the dark powers. Offerings will sacrifice.
To arms!
You'll make
Okej,
a
czyli
suitable
mamy jeszcze jedną
sacrifice.
walkę. Abelard będzie robił za frontowca.
On it. It's as if we never stood a chance.
Bum.
I'll see to it personally.
Dobra. A, jeszcze nie było tury Abelarda. I ty możesz farwować na wrogów i robić ataki obszarowe.
That's not the Seneschal's job. I'm not interested.
Jesteś not interested. Dobra.
I've seen worse battles than this in my time. It will be done.
Race for impact! Szykuj się na uderzenie.
That's something worse.
Chaos guides me. I serve
Pain
the
and
ruinous
duty
powers.
go hand in hand.
I'll make
Okej. Pięknie.
on it. It's as good as done.
Teraz ty.
At your back, took care of this one.
Jeb. Cliff.
I'd rather not. Just a minor setback.
Who in the end was inevitable?
Pięknie. A ty, myślę, że zrobisz klip na tych dwóch
Reduced to
i ich
dust.
wyczyścisz. Okej, a ty... Warrior. Myślę, wytrzymałość. Dobra, 22, 25. Zatem myślę, że mogę sobie zasejwować. I do zobaczenia, trzymajcie się.